Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, I wanted to talk about upcoming characters, preparation, who you might want to summon for, and strategies you might want to use. But keep in mind that some of this is obviously confirmed and some of it is speculation. And I want to talk about how I think there might be more characters coming as well, based on what they've laid out. But if we bounce back over here, we can see that over in this thing here, it tells us that in this patch that we're currently in on the test server, which is just about to come out on the global server, we are getting Tassy, Luca, and Hodgkin. So let's talk about this for a sec. So if I bounce back over here and I take a look, and we will talk about Tassy for a quick minute as well. But we obviously already had Nara, who was an S level Graveborn. We had Sinbad, who was the A level Lightbearer. I am assuming that Tassy is going to be an S level. The reason being is the last two Wilders that we had were Olmus and Lenya, who were both A levels. I think we're due for an S level Wilder, and that is why I'm assuming she'll be S level. We will find this out in the next couple days. Also, it synergizes really well with evening out the amount of S levels and A levels that they have had in the game so far. So I am thinking Tassy will be an S level. Then we will go on to Luca, who I'm assuming will be an A level, and then on to Hodgkin, who we know through the in-game trial version, it is stated as an S level. That could change. Once again, this is just, you know, I'm 99% sure that's going to stay the same. We'll have to wait and see. Then after that, that will cover the three heroes that are in the current patch, and the two from the previous patch are listed here, so you can obviously see here. It also has Dunlinger listed. So just keep in mind, Dunlinger was listed on this one, meaning that the fact that we don't have the new Hypergene listed on this one, meaning we can probably wait and see it coming over here in this patch. So let's go back over to my sheet and talk a bit more. So like I said, after we get Hodgkin, then I think Bonnie will be the next one. You're either going back to back on S levels or back to back on Graveborn. I don't know which way this will go. I would assume they'd go the back to back Graveborn and just do Bonnie, and then come in with the Sonya. However, I do think there is a world in which they do Hodgkin into Sonya, then into Bonnie, then into another S level. Because if we go back over to this talk with designers that they did a fair while ago, each season will last for 4 months, feature 7 to 8 heroes from the 4 factions, and 2 to 3 heroes from the Celestial and Hypergene faction. Now, the fact that we are so far into it, and we can see that this next patch is not going to have any Celestial Hypergenes, I'm assuming that the only other Celestial Hypergene we're going to get is the Fishman guy, who I am super excited about, but unfortunately, I don't think he's going to come till the next patch or the one after that. Now, if we go back over here into the game and take a look at the new heroes ×2 in the next patch, it doesn't tell us who they are, but the ×2 makes me think that this might be like a very small patch, that then we will finish it off with another one. Because when you see ×2, to me, that's going to be maybe Sonya and the Hypergene, or maybe Bonnie and the Hypergene. Once again, I don't know which order Sonya and Bonnie will go, but I think that will be it. And then I believe we will actually have another patch after that. Once again, this is speculation, which will include another new hero that we don't know, and the remaining unit, whether it be Sonya or Bonnie. That is what I am expecting to happen. Because when we bounce back over to this screen here, and we think about the fact that they said each season will last for 4 months, we then take into account that each banner runs for 2 weeks before a new banner comes. Yes, they have the 3 weeks and they overlap, but we have basically 2 weeks between new heroes. And so when we look at it, Nara and Sinbad, that being, let's just call 2 weeks, half a month, let's call 4 weeks, 1 month. I know it's 28 days, only counts for Feb, but let's just rough math it like that. We've got 1 month with Nara and Sinbad, we've got 1 month with Tassy Luca, we've got 1 month with Hodgkin and whoever else is the next one, and then we've only got half a month, so that's 3.5 months. That's why I really do think we will be getting another hero tapped on. And before you mentioned that, you know, I didn't include the Hypergene in there, we have seen through every Celestial / Hypergene that they have released so far that they just slap them in. Dunlinger dropped on the same day as Nara. We've had like previously when we had Taylene and Freya, so they were really close together and they just don't obey the rest of it. So I do think there will be one more secret hero that we don't know coming to the game. Who it will be, I really don't have any idea. It could be like a character that's like a lead up into the next season. It could be a character through a side story, kind of like what Lenya was and Lily May were. They weren't really in the game at all, and then they just made a side story for them and they came in. So that is what I'm expecting to happen. So now we go on to who do I want to summon for? I am absolutely torn on this if Tassy is an S level, because the thing with Tassy is She is so damn cool from AFK Arena, and anyone who played AFK Arena is probably going to enjoy characters from AFK Arena that come back. So a quick touch on Tassy. I'm not going to spend too long. I'll wait till we get more information about her. But basically, her ultimate in AFK Arena sleeps the entire field for 5 seconds. Really, really nice. She then also has a teleport where if she... Oh no, that's one she summons the fairy. That's not the main one I want to look at. The banishment where she banishes one enemy from the battlefield. They can't take damage or anything like that. They go into like an ephemeral type spirit, but they can't do anything either. And then we have this one here, which is her teleport, which when she takes damage, she can then teleport to an ally or an enemy, buffing allies or dealing damage to enemies. So she has that sort of aspect. So she's... At the start of AFK Arena, she was like one of those supports that you could actually put in the front row. She'd take a little bit of damage, she'd teleport away, and then she'd let your other tank do the work. And then she was just mad control. So you can see here she is listed as a supporter. However, it wouldn't make me surprised if they changed her into a mage with the same style of function. When we look at Arden, he is a mage, but he has that control type aspect. Wouldn't surprise me if they did the same with Tassy, but I definitely think the one thing we will see stay true to Tassy is going to be her control aspect. Whether they take her into a damage aspect of that or a supportive buffing healing aspect of it, I don't know, but I definitely think the one thing they cannot take away from Tassy is going to be the aspect of her control, because they are pretty good at staying pretty true to characters to the AFK Arena version, except for Hodgkin, who's looking completely different. And to be fair, Sonya's looking pretty different as well. So who knows? Maybe I'm just absolutely coped, but I feel like Tassy's like got a real core fundamental in AFK Arena from the start of the game. So that is a quick look at Tassy there. And like I said, if she does come to the game, I'm going to be kind of torn, because especially when you consider resources. Now, if you're free to play versus spending, you've just got to weigh up how many summons you have. If we go back over here to mine, this is my free to play. So I'm going to split these characters up between my two accounts so I can obviously test them. But you can see I've got 50,000 diamonds. The thing is, I have unlocked the Song of Strife, but I have not gone through it yet. So I do have a bunch of diamonds that I can get through the Song of Strife on this account, which brings me up to a big buff. So I would probably be able to get Tassy to at least Mythic Plus when she comes. Once again, we'll have to wait and weigh up her abilities. But the thing about that is that we've got, once again, if my assumption is correct that Tassy will be an S and then Hodgkin and Sonya will be an S, then we do have the one swap. We have the swap for the S level and the swap for the A level. So it comes down to, do you want to aim for 2 S levels? And if you're like a Giga Whale and you can summon them all, like, don't stress about this. But my free-to-play mind is cooking, going, do I say maybe go for Luca so that I can swap and then save and try and get enough to go for Hodgkin as well? And then if the big power creep ends up being Sonya, then I can always swap for Sonya. That would require me being able to get enough diamonds to get 2 characters to at least Mythic Plus is where I want to get them. And I might be able to do that with the Song of Strife once I actually grind the whole thing out. So we'll have to wait and see. And once again, it's going to depend on where you're at. But keep in mind, during this season, I think that as long as a character is... And the later in the season it gets, the more valid it gets. Like, if you decide to skip Tassy and then Hodgkin comes out and he's like, he looks good, but not like the Lily May style of good when she came out, well, he might still be really worth getting, because then you can still swap him for the next one if it is going to be that god tier type character. So that is the way I'm kind of balancing out at the moment. For me, I'm not seeing Dream Realm usage out of Tassy. I think she's probably going to be that arena / AFK stage unit, unless they do something. I always say do. I can't help it. I always say it. But unless they do something that makes her kind of viable over there as well, I'm probably going to pass, because as much as I like Tassy, like, Hodgkin in this season has been an absolute boss, and I just think he looks so cool. And then Sonya is another one that I've been super impressed with through the story. Yes, I got sucked in by the story, so I'm kind of liking Sonya. But once again, Tassy, I do think she's going to be control based. I'm curious to see where they land her, but it will be a massive consideration on pulling her, because we do know we have we do assume that we have at least 2 other S levels coming in this season who could also be very strong. So that is where I'm sort of weighing up. I'm leaning towards possibly skipping Tassy if she's just like in that mid range. Unless she's completely Lily May level, I'm probably going to skip her and then just go all in on Hodgkin no matter what, and then I can always swap him away if I need to. My plan at the moment is to skip Luca. What I saw from his skills, I wasn't too impressed, but obviously you never know what there's going to be buried in his skills, in the skill ups, in the exclusive equipment and stuff that can make him OP. So once again, Luca's one of the ones that if he's mid-level, I'm just going to skip. If he's completely busted, I'm going to pull, but I'm just kind of thinking in my mind that I want to save for Hodgkin, go all in on Hodgkin, and then see where I end up, because Bonnie is the other A level that I think is going to be really, really strong as well. And so I'm just liking the Bonnie more than the Luca, and I'm keeping in mind that aspect that I think we do have room for one more hero to get added in this season, and based on the amount of S and A's at current state, once again, if Tassy is an S level, if Luca is an A level, all these things, you know, a little bit of assumptions, it would make sense that they'd put an A level at the end of the season, and that, like they did with last season with Lenya, and then ramp us up for the next season. And the whole idea is there that I think they would let us coast, and then the people who want the S levels can summon at the start of the next season. But once again, if they're following the same path, and there's a lot of speculation we can go on to here, is like, is that mean then that the Sonya is going to be the big powerful character? I don't know. Once again, it's a lot of speculation, but I just wanted to lay out the roadmap of what I think will happen. Once again, Sonya and Bonnie might swap around, but I do think we will have that one extra. And I do think next patch we will, like, so this patch is going to be Tassy, Luca, and Hodgkin. The next patch is probably going to be one of these two and the Hyper Gene guy. And then I do think we will have one patch after that, which will probably bring another 2 heroes. Once again, that is just based off the timelines they give us, what they put in the patch notes and stuff like that. I could be wrong, but just something to think about as you start planning your resources and what you might want to summon for. Anyway, that was a bit of a ramble. I'm just giga hyped for Hodgkin, and that's the big one I'm going for, but let's see how Tassy falls. Hopefully we find out information on Tassy in the next couple days that we can let you guys know. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.